Dear students, welcome to this final part of the video on the lesson The Snake and the Mirror. In the previous episodes, we saw how a snake entered the homeopath's room and how it caused a lot of trouble to him, and how the homeopath was terrified of the snake when its hood was just 3 or 4 inches away from his face. Then what happened? The snake actually, it slowly crawled onto the table and started looking into the mirror at its reflection. Now the doctor felt some relief because the snake, maybe to enjoy its beauty in the mirror, it started looking into the mirror at its image. Now let us see what happened. What was the response of the doctor when the snake crawled onto the table and started looking into the mirror at its image? Now let us move on to the next part of the lesson. Right. So as soon as the snake crawled onto the table and started looking into the mirror, these are the thoughts of, or these are the feelings of the homeopath. Then, I was no mere image cut in granite. I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. Still holding my breath, I got up from the chair. I quietly went out through the door into the veranda. From there, I leapt into the yard and ran for all I was worth. So, this is what the homeopath's reaction was. I was no mere image cut in granite. So, look at this underlined part here. Mere, we have already seen the meaning of this word mere. Mere means, only. Image cut in granite. What is the meaning of image cut in granite? A statue or a stone. So I was no mere image cut in granite. So when the snake's hood was just in front of him, just very close to his face, the doctor was sitting in the chair like an image cut in granite. That means just like a stone, like a statue, without any motion. He was sitting in the chair. But now he feels some relief because the snake crawled onto the table quite away from him. I was no mere image cut in granite. That means I was not just like a stone. I was suddenly a man of flesh and blood. Man of flesh and blood. What is the meaning of man of flesh and blood? Means here a normal man. So until the snake moved onto the table, the position of the homeopath was he was sitting in the chair like a statue. Now he is no longer like a statue. He has become suddenly a man of flesh and blood. That means he has become a normal man. He has come to his senses. Still holding my breath. Still holding my breath. So we have already seen the meaning of this phrase, holding my breath. Holding breath. Holding one's breath means here feeling nervous or excited. Still holding my breath. Still he was nervous, excited. I got up from the chair. So in order to escape from the snake, he slowly got up from the chair. I quietly went out through the door into the veranda. Quietly means in a very silent manner, calm manner, stealthy manner. He went out through the door into the veranda because the door of the house room was already open. So that's why he slowly walked into the veranda. From there means where? From the veranda, I leapt into the yard and ran for all I was worth. Leap means jump. Leap into, that means jump, leapt, leap, leapt. That means I leapt into the yard, open area in front of the room. Leapt into means he jumped into the open place in front of his room and ran for all I was worth. Underline, look at this underlined part here. Run for all one's worth. That is the idiomatic expression. Run for all one's worth. So ran for all I was worth. What is the meaning of this one here? To the greatest extent of one's ability. అంటే మనం శక్తి కొద్దీ ఒక పని చేస్తే దాన్ని ఏమంటామంటే అంటే శక్తి కొద్దీ పరిగెత్తాడు అంటాం. అంటే మన అంటే ఎంత వీలుంటే అంత తన శక్తి మేరకు ఎంత పరిగెత్తగలిగితే అంత పరిగెత్తాడు అనమాట. ఎవరిక్కడ? హోమియోపత్. వెంటనే వరండాలోకి జంప్ చేసి అక్కడి నుంచి యార్డ్కి జంప్ చేసి అక్కడి నుంచి ran for all I was worth. That means he started running without looking back to the greatest extent of his ability. తన శక్తి మేరకు శక్తి కొలది పరిగెత్తాడు. Okay, so that way the homeopath was lucky enough to escape from the snake in the room. Phew, each of us heaved a sigh of relief. All of us lit beadies. Somebody asked, "Doctor, is your wife fat?" "No," the doctor said. "God willed otherwise. My life companion is a thin, reedy person with the gift of a sprinter." Someone else asked, "Doctor, when you ran, did the snake follow you?" Now, actually, this is the narration of the doctor about his bitter experience with a snake a few years ago. Okay, now he is narrating this story about his bitter experience with a snake in the past to his friends, no? So now all of us heaved a sigh of relief. Look at this idiomatic expression, heave a sigh of relief. What is the meaning of heave a sigh of relief? To suddenly feel happy after facing a problem or a difficult situation. సో మనం ఏదన్నా ఒక చాలా ఇబ్బందిలో ఉన్నప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలో తెలియనప్పుడు తర్వాత కొంత రిలీఫ్ వస్తుంది మనకి, దాని నుంచి బయటపడతాం. అప్పుడు మనం ఎలా ఫీల్ అవుతామంటే we feel a sigh of relief. అంటే a feeling of great feeling of relief అన్నమాట. సడన్ feeling of happiness. ఇంకా మనకి ఆ సమస్య లేదు, దీని నుంచి బయటపడ్డాము, అమ్మయ్య అనుకుంటాం అనమాట. దాన్ని మనం ఇంగ్లీష్లో ఏమంటామంటే heave a sigh of relief. So each of us, that means every one of the doctor's friends, they felt some kind of relief or happiness when the doctor said that he had escaped from the room and ran out. All of us lit beadies. So we have already seen that the homeopath, he was habituated to smoking. Just like that, most of his friends, they were also habituated to beadies or smoking. So that's why they lighted or lit lit beadies. Somebody asked, one of his friends, the homeopath's friends asked him suddenly, "Doctor, is your wife fat?" So the homeopath escaped from the snake and after some years he married a woman. Now one of his friends wanted to know, "Doctor, is your wife very fat?" So you just told us that you wanted to marry a fat woman, a rich woman, a woman doctor with good practice, medical practice. Did you marry a fat woman? Is your wife very fat? No, the doctor said. God willed otherwise. My life companion is a thin, reedy person with the gift of a sprinter. So who did the doctor marry? God willed otherwise. God willed. Willed means here wished or desired. Will means wish or desire. సో దేవుడు నేను ఒకటి అనుకుంటే దేవుడు వేరే రకంగా అనుకున్నాడు. దీన్ని మనం ఇంగ్లీష్లో ఏం చెప్తాము? మ్యాన్ ప్రపోజెస్ అండ్ గాడ్ డిస్పోజెస్. మ్యాన్ ప్రపోజెస్ అండ్ గాడ్ డిస్పోజెస్ అంటాం. అంటే తాను ఒకటి తలిస్తే దైవం ఒకటి తలుస్తుంది అంటాం కదా. అంటే మనం ఒకటి అనుకుంటే, మనం ఏదో కావాలని అనుకుంటే, ఒకటి జరగాలనుకుంటే మనకేదో దేవుడు వేరే ఏదో జరిగేట్టుగా చేస్తాడు. దాన్నే మనం గాడ్ విల్డ్ అదర్వైజ్ అంటే గాడ్ విష్డ్, హీ డిసైడెడ్ ద అదర్ వే. I wanted to I wanted to marry a very fat woman, but God wished the other way. My life companion. What is the meaning of companion here? Partner. Life companion means life partner. That is wife. My wife is a thin, reedy person. Thin, not a very fat one. Very lean, సన్నగా ఉన్నటువంటి reedy person. Reedy means unpleasant, plain, not very beautiful. Reedy, ordinary, unpleasant, plain. with the gift of a sprinter, with the gift of a sprinter. So I married my life partner. My wife is not a beautiful woman, not a fat woman, a reedy person, unpleasant person, with the gift of a sprinter, with the gift of a sprinter, with the talent of a sprinter. Sprinter means here a fast runner. Sprinter means a fast runner. So sprinters are fast runners. You don't see them fat. If they are fat, they cannot run fast. So only a thin person can become a sprinter and can run fast. So the homeopath actually, he wanted to marry a very fat woman, but God decided or he willed otherwise. And the homeopath had to marry an unpleasant, thin woman who looked like a sprinter. Okay, right. Someone else asked, doctor, when you ran, did the snake follow you? Okay, you escaped from the snake and ran out of the room, no? Did the snake follow you? Did you find that the snake was following you when you ran out of the room? One of his friends wanted to know, asked the homeopath. The doctor replied, I ran and ran till I reached a friend's house. Immediately, I smeared oil all over myself and took a bath. I changed into fresh clothes. The next morning at about 8:30, I took my friend and one or two others to my room to move my things from there. But we found we had little to carry. Some thief had removed most of my things. The room had been cleaned out. So this is a funny paragraph. Look at this one. The doctor replied, so did the snake follow you when you ran out of the room? One of his friends asked. And what did the doctor say? The doctor replied, he answered, I ran and ran without looking back. I ran and ran in the darkness until I reached a friend's house. So I ran to my friend's house without looking back. I didn't look back. That's why I didn't know whether the snake was following me or not. So that was his reply. Immediately, I smeared oil. Immediately means as soon as I reached my friend's house, I smeared oil. What is the meaning of smear? Smear is nothing but to coat or to apply a paint, oil, anything. So that is what's called smear. So smear oil means apply oil or to coat oil. అంటే మనం నూనెని అలాంటి వాటిని అద్దటము పొలమటము అని చెప్తాం కదా, నూనె పులుముకోవటము లేదా నూనెని అద్దటము అంటాం, అట్లా దాన్ని స్మియరింగ్ ఆయిల్ అంటారు. సో ఇమీడియట్లీ అంటే ఆఫ్టర్ రీచింగ్ మై ఫ్రెండ్స్ హౌస్ ఐ స్మియర్డ్ ఆయిల్, ఐ కోటెడ్ my body with oil, I applied oil on my body, all over myself, all over my body, and took a bath. So he took a bath after applying oil on his body. I changed into fresh clothes. That means the homeopath changed his clothes also. Okay, after taking a bath. The next morning, so he slept there in his friend's room that night. The next morning, what happened? At about 8:30, I took my friend and one or two others, maybe his friend's neighbors. He took his friend and one or two neighbors of his friend also to where? To my room. That means to his room, to move my things. To move my things means to shift his luggage from there. From there means from his room. But that means he wanted to shift his luggage from his room to some other place. But we found we had little to carry. But he was shocked to see that the homeopath and his friends, they were shocked to see that they had little to carry. Little. What is the meaning of little? What is the difference between little and a little? Look at the difference here. Little means not much, almost nothing, negative. In the negative sense, we use this one. Look at the example. The patient has little hope of recovery. Little hope of recovery. Little hope of recovery means he has no chance of recovery at all. Almost he has nothing to recover. So this is the meaning of little. That means it is used in a negative sense. And a little means here a small amount. It is used in a positive sense. I have a little money. A little money means some money, a small amount of money, not much, but some amount I have. But if you say I have little money, what does it mean? I almost have no money. Okay, very little. So that is the meaning of that one. So little is used in negative sense and a little is used in positive sense. So you should know the difference between these two. But we found that means the homeopath and his friends, when they went to the room, the homeopath's room, to shift his luggage, they had little to carry. That means they found almost nothing to shift from the room. Some thief had removed. So a thief had entered the homeopath's room that night itself and removed. What is the meaning of removed? Stolen, took away. Remove means take away or steal. Removed means stolen or took away most of my things. So a thief had entered the homeopath's room that night itself and took away all his luggage or belongings. The room had been cleaned out. That means it was left empty by a thief. So this is what you have to understand. So the homeopath was unlucky because a thief had taken away all his belongings, all his things from his room. But not really. The thief had left behind one thing as a final insult. What was that? I asked. But not really. The thief had left behind one thing as a final insult. So the doctor said that a thief had entered his room and took away almost all his belongings. But he had left behind. What is the meaning of leave behind? Leave behind, left behind, left behind. Leave behind. What is the meaning of leave behind? Leave something behind. That is a phrasal verb actually. Leave something behind. That means to forget or neglect to bring or take something. అంటే మనం ఏదైనా వస్తువుని లేదా ఒక వ్యక్తిని తీసుకువెళ్ళడం మర్చిపోవడం, లేదా తీసుకురావడం మర్చిపోవడం, లేదా తీసుకెళ్ళడం మర్చిపోవడం ఒక చోట నుంచి, అంటే అక్కడే వదిలేసి వెళ్ళిపోవటం, వదిలేసి వెళ్ళిపోయారంటాం కదా, ఆ వదిలేసి వెళ్ళిపోవడాన్ని అంటారంటే లీవ్ బిహైండ్ అంటారనమాట. సో ఇక్కడ బట్ నాట్ రియల్లీ అన్ని తీసుకెళ్ళిపోయాడు థీఫ్, కానీ వాడు ఒకటి మాత్రం తీసుకెళ్ళలేదు, అక్కడే వదిలిపెట్టి వెళ్ళిపోయాడు. అలా వదిలిపెట్టి వెళ్ళాడు అనడానికి ఏమనాలి? లెఫ్ట్ బిహైండ్. లీవ్ బిహైండ్ అంటే వదిలిపెట్టి వెళ్ళడము, లెఫ్ట్ బిహైండ్ అంటే దాని పాస్ట్ టెన్స్ అన్నమాట. ద థీఫ్ హ్యాడ్ లెఫ్ట్ బిహైండ్ వన్ థింగ్ అంటే ద థీఫ్ హ్యాడ్ నాట్ టేకెన్ అవే వన్ థింగ్. ఒకటి తీసుకెళ్లకుండా అక్కడే విడిచిపెట్టి వెళ్ళిపోయాడు గుర్తుగా అన్నట్లుగా. ఏమిటది? యాజ్ అ ఫైనల్ ఇన్సల్ట్. సో అతను బహుశా ఈ డాక్టర్ని ఇన్సల్ట్ చేయడానికేమో అన్నట్లుగా ఆ థీఫ్ ఒక వస్తువుని తీసుకెళ్లకుండా అక్కడే వదిలిపెట్టి వెళ్ళిపోయాడు అని అంటున్నాడు డాక్టర్. ఏమిటది? అంత ఇన్సల్టింగ్ విషయం ఏంటి అక్కడ డాక్టర్కి అంటే, వాట్ వాజ్ దట్ ఐ ఆస్క్డ్. అతని ఫ్రెండ్ ఒకతను అడిగాడు, వాట్ హ్యాడ్ ద థీఫ్ లెఫ్ట్ బిహైండ్ డాక్టర్ టు ఇన్సల్ట్ యూ? వాట్ హ్యాడ్ హీ లెఫ్ట్ బిహైండ్ ఇన్ ద రూమ్? ద డాక్టర్ సెడ్, మై వెస్ట్, ద డర్టీ వన్. ద ఫెలో హ్యాడ్ సచ్ ఎ సెన్స్ ఆఫ్ cleanliness. The doctor said, my vest. So you should know the meaning of this word vest here. What is the meaning of vest here? It is an undershirt. In other words, we call it banian. Banian అంటాం కదా, షర్ట్ కింద వేసుకునేటువంటి అండర్ షర్ట్ అనమాట. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్. డాక్టర్ ఇంతకుముందే చెప్పాడు మనకి, ఏమన్నాడు? మై వెస్ట్ నాట్ ఎ వైట్ వన్, డర్టీ వన్ అని అంతకుముందు చెప్పాడు ఇక్కడ. అంటే బాగా మాసిపోయినటువంటి ఒక వెస్ట్, ఒక అండర్ షర్ట్ ఉంది తంది, అది మాత్రం తీసుకెళ్ళలేదు ఆ హోమియోపతిది. ఎవరు? ఆ థీఫ్ అనమాట. అదే విషయాన్ని డాక్టర్ ఇక్కడ చెప్తున్నాడు. మై వెస్ట్, ద డర్టీ వన్. ద ఫెలో మీన్స్ దట్ థీఫ్ హ్యాడ్ సచ్ ఎ సెన్స్ ఆఫ్ క్లీన్లీనెస్. బహుశా వాడికి పరిశుభ్రత, క్లీన్లీనెస్ అంటే ఏమిటి ఇక్కడ? పరిశుభ్రత అంటే వాడికి చాలా శ్రద్ధ అనుకుంటా. పరిశుభ్రత పట్ల వాడికి చాలా అవగాహన ఉన్నట్లుంది, అందుకనే వాడు చాలా క్లీన్ గా ఉండేటువంటి వాడు అనుకుంటాను. అందుకని నా యొక్క డర్టీ వెస్ట్ వాడికి నచ్చలేదు, మిగతావన్నీ తీసుకెళ్ళిపోయాడు, కానీ ఈ డర్టీ వెస్ట్ మాత్రం వదిలేసి వెళ్ళిపోయాడు అని చెప్పి సరదాగా ఈ డాక్టర్ చెప్తున్నాడు ఇక్కడ. The rascal could have taken it and used it after washing it with soap and water. సో ఇక్కడ చూసాం కదా, ఇది కూడా ఫన్నీ అనమాట. The rascal అంటే ఇక్కడ మనం ఏంటి ఇక్కడ వాడిని మనం ఏ గుడ్ ఫర్ నథింగ్, ఏ వేస్ట్ ఫెలో, యూస్లెస్ ఫెలో అంటాం కదా, ఒక తిట్టడానికి ఉపయోగించే ఒక ఇన్సల్టింగ్ వర్డ్. సో ద rascal, that idiot, could have taken it means he could have taken it means what, my dirty vest, అది కూడా తీసుకెళ్ళిపోతే పోయేది కదా, అండ్ యూజ్డ్ ఇట్ ఆఫ్టర్ వాషింగ్ ఇట్ విత్ సోప్ అండ్ వాటర్. సో దాన్ని వాష్ చేసి యూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు కదా, మరి దాన్ని ఎందుకు వదిలిపెట్టి వెళ్ళిపోయాడు, అది ఎందుకు తీసుకెళ్ళలేదంటే నన్ను ఇన్సల్ట్ చేయడానికి తీసుకెళ్ళలేదు అని చెప్పి డాక్టర్ ఇక్కడ ఫన్నీగా చెప్తున్నాడు. డిడ్ యూ సీ ద స్నేక్ ద నెక్స్ట్ డే డాక్టర్? అగైన్ వన్ మోర్ ఫ్రెండ్ ఆస్క్డ్, some other friend asked the doctor, did you see the snake the next day? Okay, you shifted your luggage from the room. While you were shifting the luggage from the room, of course you had nothing to shift from the room. When you entered the room with your friends, did you find the snake inside in the room? The doctor laughed. I have never seen it since. Never seen it since. Since means from there. అప్పటి నుంచి ఆ స్నేక్ నాకు మళ్ళీ కనపడలేదు అని నవ్వి చెప్పాడు అనమాట. ఇట్ వాజ్ అ స్నేక్ విచ్ వాజ్ టేకెన్ విత్ ఇట్స్ ఓన్ బ్యూటీ. టేకెన్ విత్ ఇట్స్ ఓన్ బ్యూటీ. Take with, what is the meaning of take with? Take with, highly attracted by something. Highly attracted by something. సో ఈ డాక్టరు ఏం చెప్తున్నాడు ఇక్కడ, ఆ స్నేక్ అనేది అద్దంలో చూసుకుంది కదా తన ముఖాన్ని, బహుశా అది తన యొక్క అద్దంలో తన యొక్క ప్రతిబింబం దానికి బాగా నచ్చి ఉంటుంది, తన అందాన్ని చూసుకోవడంలో మునిగిపోయి ఉంటుంది, అంత అట్రాక్ట్ అయిపోయి ఉంటుంది చాలా ఎక్కువగా తన యొక్క అందానికి అద్దంలో. అందుకని బహుశా నాకు అది ఇంతవరకు కనపడలేదు, ఎక్కడో అద్దం చూసుకుంటూ ఉంటుంది, అద్దంలో దాని యొక్క ముఖాన్ని చూసుకుంటూ ఎంజాయ్ చేస్తున్నట్లుంది అని చెప్పి సరదాగా చెప్పాడు అనమాట. ఇట్ వాజ్ ఎ స్నేక్ విచ్ వాజ్ టేకెన్ విత్ ఇట్స్ ఓన్ బ్యూటీ. టేకెన్ విత్ ఓన్ బ్యూటీ మీన్స్ highly attracted by its own beauty. Okay, so this is the way we have to understand. So this is a very funny lesson because the theme of this unit is humor. Okay, we have already seen. So I think all of you have understood this part of the video. Okay, now let us discuss some questions which are meant for comprehension. When did the doctor become a normal man? When did he feel that he was no image cut in granite? Otherwise, we can ask this way also. When did the doctor become a normal man? Okay. For some time, he was just like a stone. He was sitting in a chair like a stone. Then when did he become a normal man? A man of flesh and blood, we have discussed it. Or when did he feel that he was no image cut in granite? Both mean the same. When did he become a normal man? When the snake started looking into the mirror. Okay, that is the thing. What did he do immediately? What was the doctor's response? He leapt into the yard and ran out. Okay, what is the meaning of the idiom run for all one is worth? Run for all one is worth means here, what is the meaning of this one? I have already explained this one. Yes, look for its meaning. Right. When did the doctor's friends feel a sigh of relief? Okay, when did the doctor's friends feel a sigh of relief? When the doctor said that he had run out of the room or he had escaped from the room. What question did one of the friends put him to? What question did one of the doctor's friends put him to? అతను అడిగిన ప్రశ్న ఏమిటి? Did you marry a very fat woman? Is your wife very fat? That was the question. Who did the doctor actually marry? Of course, he wanted to marry a very fat woman, but actually whom did he marry or who did he marry? He married a reedy person. Thin, reedy person. Thin, reedy person. That means not a fat woman, an unpleasant woman. Okay. Who looked like a sprinter. Where did the homeopath run to? Okay. Where did he run to? As we have already seen, he ran to his friend's house. What did he do there? What did he do in his friend's room? Okay. He smeared oil all over himself, all over his body, took a bath and changed his clothes. What did he do the next morning? Yes, come on, tell me, what did he do? What did the homeopath do the next morning? He went to his room along with his friend and one or two others. Okay, what did he find there? What did the doctor or what did the people find? What did they find there in the doctor's room? Yes, he found that, or they found that a thief had stolen most of his belongings or things. How did the thief not take away to insult the doctor? It's not how did here. Just correct it as why. Why did the thief not take away the to? Yes, it should be actually what. What did the thief not take away to insult the doctor? Otherwise, you can put this question like this also. What did the thief do to insult the doctor? Both mean the same. What did the thief do to insult the doctor? Or what did the thief not take away to insult the doctor? Yes, what did he do? The funniest thing in the lesson. He did not take away the doctor's dirty vest. He did not take away the doctor's dirty vest. This is the one. According to the homeopath, why didn't the thief not take away his dirty vest? Maybe to insult the doctor, So that is the feeling of the homeopath, but we don't know whether the thief had left the dirty vest behind to insult the doctor or not. We are not sure, but that is the feeling of the homeopath. So this makes us funny actually. Okay, now children, I think you have understood this part of the lesson. In this lesson actually, there are a number of idiomatic expressions and phrasal verbs. In the coming classes, I am going to discuss the meanings of different phrasal verbs and idiomatic expressions with the help of some examples. Until then, stay at home and stay safe and watch the video carefully until you understand the content. Watch each part of the lesson, the previous videos also, and share the videos to your friends also so that they may also know the things mentioned in the lesson. Thank you all for watching this video. Thank you.